to still be vigilant. They told us last year that it could mutate. And if it mutated into a different DNA type virus, that it's going to be a whole problem to kind of wrap your head around another mutation of it.
Kimmy Scott has always been known as the calm one on Love and Marriage, Huntsville. She's the kind of person who keeps her cool, stays grounded, and doesn't get caught up in unnecessary drama. So, when fans saw her in this new season, they were shocked. In the trailer, Kimmy was clearly upset, her eyes showed fire, and her tone was anything but calm. This wasn't a small argument or a misunderstanding. This was Kimmy reaching her breaking point. People who have followed the show for a while were surprised to see this side of her. So, what caused her to finally snap? What made someone so composed become ready to go head-to-head with another cast member? It all centers around her growing tension with Nell Fletcher. Things between them didn't start off badly. In fact, when Nell first joined the group, Kimmy welcomed her with open arms. She didn't see Nell as competition, and she even encouraged the group to be peaceful when things got heated elsewhere.
So the interview, very aware of it. We'll be addressing the interview. Have receipts, because a lot of lies were told, and I had to ask myself, am I going to go on here and say something? Should I say something? Should I reply? Or should I just not do anything and, just let them have it?
Kimmy gave Nell a chance. She showed her grace and tried to help her fit in with the rest of the cast. At first, they respected each other, and their vibe seemed good. But things didn't stay that way. As time passed, things changed behind the scenes. Rumors started to spread, whispers that Nell had said some disrespectful things about Kimmy's husband, Maurice Scott. Now, if there's one thing fans know about Kimmy, it's that she draws a hard line when it comes to her marriage. She's especially protective these days, as she's still recovering emotionally and physically from her battle with cancer. That journey has made her more mindful of where she puts her energy. So, when she heard what Nell had allegedly said about Maurice, it struck a nerve. She didn't just brush it off. From that moment on, her attitude toward Nell shifted. Their once friendly conversations turned cold. Kimmy felt betrayed not only by the comment itself, but also by the fact that it came from someone she had gone out of her way to support. Nell later said her words were misunderstood, that she didn't mean them in a hurtful way.
Owes my family an apology. More so because a lot of times he'll have this perspective of it was a joke or I was trying to be funny, and it did not land at all.
But for Kimmy, the damage was already done. Things came to a head during a group gathering. What was supposed to be a simple conversation quickly turned into a heated argument. Kimmy didn't hold back this time. She asked direct questions and didn't sugarcoat her feelings. Nell stood her ground and didn't apologize. She defended herself, saying that her intentions were never negative. Letitia tried to step in and calm the situation, but instead of easing the tension, her involvement made things worse. It started to look like she was taking sides, which only fueled the fire. Emotions ran high. Voices were raised. Body language became tense, arms crossed, faces tight, eyes locked in frustration. It wasn't just awkward.
As far as opening eyes, it probably opened Maurice's eyes more than my eyes, to be fair.
It was intense enough that producers had to step in to prevent things from getting out of hand. But believe it or not, that wasn't even the worst part. The real blow-up happened later at the now famous pool party. On the surface, everything seemed fine. Music was playing, drinks were flowing, and people were laughing. But the tension between Kimmy and Nell could be felt by everyone. It was thick, like something was waiting to happen. Then, Nell made a comment. It wasn't loud, but it was sharp enough for Kimmy to catch. That was it. Kimmy looked straight at her and said, "What you're not gonna do is speak on my husband again." Her voice was clear, her tone firm. It wasn't a suggestion, it was a warning. Nell didn't back down. She fired right back, accusing Kimmy of trying to control the situation and acting like a victim whenever things didn't go her way. That's when the tension exploded. The women squared off, ready to go further.
It's a lot. Like, you plan your days and you can't stress out on the things that you don't get accomplished for that day. Like, you just have to figure out what's important. We're working it and we're gonna figure it out. I talk to my family a lot, me and my kids, my husband. And we plan out things around the household. We give tasks to everybody, so we have to work together as a unit.
It didn't turn physical, but it got dangerously close. Cast members and security had to step in to keep things from escalating. To many fans, this wasn't just another TV fight. It revealed something deeper about Kimmy. Behind the scenes, she's been dealing with so much more than people see. Her battle with cancer changed her perspective. She's trying to heal, protect her peace, and hold her family together, all while filming a reality show. So when someone took shots at her husband, it wasn't just drama. It felt like someone was attacking everything she was trying to protect. In her confessional, Kimmy summed it up in one sentence: "I don't have time for fake friends." That line hit hard. It wasn't loud or dramatic, it was raw and honest. Fans finally saw that beneath the calm, composed woman is someone who's exhausted. She's tired of fake friendships, tired of the drama, and tired of always being the one trying to keep the peace. This feud with Nell wasn't just about one comment, it challenged everything Kimmy stood for. She's trying to prioritize peace, health, and real connection. But Nell wasn't letting up either. In her own confessional, Nell pushed back hard. She claimed Kimmy was hiding behind her image, using her cancer journey and quiet reputation to avoid being held accountable. She accused Kimmy of playing the victim whenever things didn't go her way. She even said that just because Kimmy had been on the show longer didn't mean she could silence or bully others. Some viewers felt Nell crossed a line. Others thought she was finally saying what others wouldn't. Either way, their argument divided fans. People took sides. And the conflict didn't just affect them, it rippled through the entire group. Letitia and Miss Wanda jumped into the mix with even more heat. Letitia, who usually tries to stay neutral, showed clear support for Kimmy. But from Nell's perspective, Letitia wasn't mediating, she was choosing a side. That made things worse. Nell now felt isolated. What began as a two-person feud was turning into a group issue. Some cast members started to back away. Others stopped attending group events to avoid being dragged into the drama. In the end, this situation showed that reality TV isn't always about surface-level arguments. For Kimmy, it's personal. She's been through too much to keep quiet when something matters. And while she may not be quick to fight, once you cross the line, especially when it comes to her marriage or her peace, she's not afraid to stand up for herself. After everything that went down, the vibe in the group completely shifted. People weren't talking like they used to. Some didn't even bother to comment on the situation. You could feel the tension anytime they were all in the same room. Dinners felt awkward, side conversations got quieter, and people avoided eye contact. What used to be an easygoing group started to feel divided, and even those who had nothing to do with the drama seemed uncomfortable. It wasn't just between Kimmy and Nell anymore, it affected everyone. People started pulling away from each other. Some friendships were put on pause. And the ones who tried to stay neutral? That didn't go over well either. In this group, not picking a side started to look like you were choosing the wrong one. There were cold smiles, shady compliments, and way too many long, awkward pauses at social events. The natural flow that the group once had was gone. Now, everyone was walking on eggshells. And the moment the episode aired, social media exploded. Twitter was especially vocal. One viewer tweeted, "Kimmy finally spoke up and she meant every word." Another added, "Nell underestimated her. You don't mess with someone who's already been through fire and made it out stronger." The overall mood online? Most people were backing Kimmy. After watching her stay calm and collected season after season, especially while facing serious personal battles, many fans felt like it was about time she stood up for herself. They weren't just cheering for her because of the drama. They saw a woman who's been through a lot and finally reached her breaking point. For many fans, this wasn't about being petty, it was about defending your peace when you've worked too hard to find it. Over on Instagram, though, things were a bit more mixed. Some people thought Kimmy could have handled things differently. A few comments suggested she should have kept her cool a little longer. But just as many people felt that Nell had crossed a line way too many times. One person put it perfectly: you can't keep pushing someone who's already standing on the edge and not expect them to snap. For many viewers, this wasn't about gossip or stirring up trouble. This was real life. Kimmy's been healing not just physically from her health journey, but emotionally too. So when someone comes for her marriage or her peace, it hits deeper than just a reality show moment. And even though Nell didn't seem to back down, that rubbed people the wrong way. Because when someone is clearly trying to protect their energy, constantly coming for them can feel cruel, not bold. So here's the question: did Kimmy go too far in how she reacted, or was it totally justified? And what about Nell? Was she really trying to be honest, or just stirring the pot for attention? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you Team Kimmy, Team Nell, or somewhere in the middle? If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep dives like this, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment from drama to real life lessons. We're talking about it all here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Celeb Nova, where the drama ends and the truth begins.